My earliest memories of making art, I would say when I was 3 or 4 years old. And I remember telling my mother I wanted to be an artist when I grow up. I don't know if she thought that was a good idea or not. I was lucky in regards that my mom was a real supporter of my art. I mean, she encouraged me, you know, to make things, and was happy when I did. You don't get paid for the hours of the day you work. You get I guess the compensation comes from how much, you know, your work and how much you make. And it's like there's way more hours that go into a piece or a body of work than what you're ever actually going to get paid for. You know, I realized that early on. It's like, but that's not why I do it. I do it because I love to. I love to make things. I can't sit still. If I go on a vacation, I take paint with me. I take things to work on with me when I go on a vacation, so I can't sit still. I did illustration when I got out of college, and for almost 20 years, different people, but I always worked on my own paintings. You know, I had paintings included in museum shows and different gallery venues and things like that, but it's, you know, it's time consuming, and it's like I never sold anything. I was introduced to art fairs from another friend of mine, and I was like, oh, that's neat, you know, it's a way to have a cash flow, but still not ideal, really. I prefer not to do it. There's a couple of shows I do that are indoor things, and I'm self-promote more, and that's like cultivating your own clients. To me is the ticket. You know, just to reach out to people and cultivate your own clients is really the way to go. You don't necessarily need a brick and mortar building to do that. There's the internet now and social media, and people can find you online and see your work, and you can actually sell you know, pieces off of Facebook or your website or whatever venue you choose. I love it when people say I can now even draw a stick figure. Well, yeah, you can. Anybody can draw a stick figure, and it's funny because I get paid to do. I've been getting paid to draw stick figures for 20 years. It's like I like telling people that. A few years ago, I was trying a different venue, and I was stuck in this hotel that was, for lack of a better word, a real dive. And I had my paint with me, and I'm working on just small things that I could, you know, there was inventory I thought I had to get done. So I'm working on little paintings, and there were some paintings on the wall that I was like, wow, man, they're original black velvet paintings on the wall of this hotel room. And I don't know what got into me, but I had my paint right there, and I thought, man, what kind of artist am I if I don't doctor these things up? So I took my paint out and I painted on these paintings, and I was like, wow. At first I was kind of timid, and I was actually, you know, I was like, wow, what if I get caught doing this? And then I was like, man, I am improving them. So that's how this whole hotel, kind of enhancing the artwork in hotels, came about. It was just it was almost a fluke, because I didn't intend to do it. I just did a couple right there in this little cheesy hotel in a town in Texas, and then it just grew from there. And I thought, well, wow, I could do this wherever I go. I travel so much. I'm not doing my job as an artist if I don't enhance the hotel artwork that's there, because it's not really even artwork. It's a cheap reproduction. Most of them are on paper or materials they're non-archival. The prints cost pennies. I believe that the most expensive thing in the whole equation of what I do and quote unquote enhance in a hotel is the frame may be a little bit pricey, and the piece of glass that's on it, because the mats are not they're not archival or not 100% rag or anything. And so it's like, I think I'm doing the guys a favor, especially when I leave them there. Now lately, it's got where I'll do a piece and I'll I'll photograph it and I'll leave it. If I'm there for a couple of days, I'll photograph the piece and I'll leave it. I'll put it back on the wall in the frame that it's in. And you know, after I did my thing to it, I'll shoot a picture of it and send it to my wife. And she might say, man, it's too good to leave in the hotel. Every now and then I'll still leave one in the hotel, but now they're good enough that I have to take them out. I'll leave something else in the frame and bring them home and take them over to my printer, you know, shoot them professionally and archive them for me so I can always go back and make another reproduction of them if I need to. Now that I travel, everywhere I go, I always have a large container of paint, brushes, materials. You know, I have a special tool that I'm able to, if it's on the wall this way in a hotel, I've got a little wrench, a little tool that takes the security hardware off of the wall with, and that's how it happens. If I get to a hotel and there's more than one on the wall, I'll paint on every picture that's in the hotel in my room at the time. And then if I have other friends that are in the same hotel, I try to talk them into letting me do theirs too. People ask me like, man, are you scared when you do it? Like, no, fear is not a factor. But what I have gotten caught. I've been caught 4 times doing what I do. And the first time, I knew sooner or later that I'm going to get caught. I wouldn't do this to a Picasso or some valuable, realistic, not a valuable painting that's, like in a museum or anything. I would never do this to there. But it's like, I think hotel art is deserving of my touch, so to me it's just free game. Des Moines, Iowa was the first place that I got found out, and there was a show. I was in town for a venue, and I check into the hotel, and I right away, I know, oh, I'm gonna have fun with these, and so there was a triptych over the bed, and within that triptych was 8 mats, 8 windows in the mat. So there were 8 photographs in the image of these 3 framed prints, and I pulled them all off the wall and painted on 7 of them and hung them right back. And made a video. We made a video of the whole thing while I'm there in the hotel, still in the hotel. While we're doing it, we put the video up. One of my buddies that was doing the same show as me, he's a photographer, and he said that the manager of the place was pretty cool, so I wasn't really worried about it. I even had the thought, like, why don't we get the manager in on it? They charged my credit card before I even got on the south side, I-35. Before I even made it to Kansas City, I was already billed. So when I get home and I was looking to see like how long it's gonna, I thought maybe I'm gonna get caught on this one because it was the most blatant one I'd done so far. And I look at the bill and I see this $200 charge, and I was like, wow. And the wording on it was really funny because it said $200 extra, for defacing of artwork. I'm like, wow. I thought, wow, they just billed me another $200 in the hotel. I was just like, wow. Then I thought, all I have to do is sell a couple of prints, and I got that back made. And it's like, I called the guy. I called the manager of the hotel, and I told him that I was their guy that had defaced the artwork. And he's like, oh yeah, I was wondering if I was gonna hear from you. And I was like more concerned of how I actually got caught. Like, how did they catch me? First of all, I learned a couple of things. Like, I don't ever want to get caught again doing it, but the way that I got caught was making the video that we did, posting it like online right away while we're still there. I mean, it was live. It was live while we were doing it, and then it's on my Facebook page. So that was a big thing. And then I always sign them. I sign them with my AKA. And so housekeeper comes into the room after I checked out, and they spot it right away, and that's how I got caught. They alert the manager. He tells me, he comes in there, they have to take it off the wall because there's franchise inspectors for the hotels, and they could get fined for having something that's not, like in their realm of decor, or, that goes in their hotel. They could actually get fined. And so that's why they charged me the $200. So then I asked the guy, well, are you going to send it to me? And he goes, oh yeah, I guess you did pay for it. And the guy, they actually boxed. I said, I'll put it on my credit card. He goes, no, we'll do it. It's on our dime. It's on my dime. And I'm like, wow. I go there and T-bang their artwork, and the guy sends it back to me on their dime. And 18 or 20 of the people in the staff at the hotel loved it. I mean, they loved it. He just, his hands were tied, so they had to bill me. And it was cool. It couldn't have worked out better. So it charged me $200, but I got the artwork back. I can sell the originals. Already have people lined up to buy the originals. I'm going to make money on them, and I've got reproductions of all the things that were on that piece that are archived, and they're part of the collection now. So it's overwhelming. I can't believe that the other 3 times hotel managers know about it, and they are keeping it a secret, and they're not ratting me out to the corporate headquarters, or for that matter, like billing my credit card, and they're actually keeping it a secret from the other managers in that same hotel chain. So you got to go big or go home. I hadn't had Oklahoma on the list of states that are included in my hotel art enhancement. So I get up there and check into this hotel and go in, and immediately, right when I walk in, there's just this big picture on the wall, and it's 3 feet square, and I was like, wow, that one, I'm definitely doing it. So I was more concerned really about breaking the glass on this one because it was so big. So anyway, I get it off the wall and do it. I painted a big, it was just like the ugliest thing I've ever seen. It was just brown and just this abstract thing, but nothing to it. And so I painted a big rabbit on the wall, big rabbit on the piece with a couple of carrots coming up off of it. A big blue and purple rabbit. I called my wife and said, this one really got blazed. I'm gonna get a phone call for this one. I thought I would get a call like as soon as I even got on the turnpike to come home. I was gonna get a call because this one was the biggest and the loudest one I'd done up to this point. And nothing. I mean, I get home, nothing. No phone calls. I'm checking my email like crazy, but nothing ever happened. Over 2 weeks go by. I'm going to lunch with a friend of mine here in Austin, and my phone rings. I see it says Tulsa, Oklahoma on my caller ID, but I thought it was a realtor, so I answered the phone. And this woman said, "Is this Terrell Powell? I said, yes. My name is Kim, and I'm the manager of the Holiday Inn in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I just need to know, did you by chance paint a big blue and purple rabbit on the wall in our hotel? I was like, oh shit. I acted stupid. She said, you're not gonna be charged for it. You won't be charged for it. We're not gonna bill you for it. Like right in the same sentence, she said, and I still acted stupid because I didn't know what this guy said. What, who is this? What are you talking about, a rabbit? She told me all that again, and I still I acted like, no, I saw it in there. I saw that rabbit. I thought it was pretty cool. And she said, oh, everybody here loves it. Don't get me wrong. We think it's great. We're just trying to figure out when it happened because you were in there over 2 weeks ago and housekeeping just found it today. I mean, they should have known, they should have seen that big rabbit there. And I said, yeah, that's a pretty big rabbit. I said, I thought it was just, you know, kind of like an Oklahoma thing. Like, don't you have a lot of jackrabbits up there in Oklahoma? Anyway, I kind of kept her on the phone because I didn't want to just lie to her and tell her like, no, I didn't do it. And then that'd be it. That's the end of the conversation because she sounded, you know, she sounded cool. And so I kind of kept her on the phone a little bit and I was talking to her and I finally said, what was that you said about you're not gonna, you wouldn't bill the person if you found out who did it? And she got real quiet and she said, you did it, didn't you? And I was laughing. I was like, yeah, I sure did do it. She's like, well, have you ever gotten caught? That was her next question. And I told her all about, you know, getting caught a couple times. I understand. If you need to bill me for it, just put it on my credit card. I'll come back to Tulsa and pick it up. And then it was like music to my ears because what came out of her mouth next was like great. She goes, oh, hell no. You're not getting this artwork back. I'm keeping it. It's going to go. I'm hanging it at my house. I love it. And I'm like, all right, man, I think I've been clear on this one. You know, I didn't like set out to do this, but now it is a goal to archive every hotel that I go to, you know, kind of alter in a more positive way. I believe the artwork, quote unquote artwork, I use the term loosely. It's not, it's just, it's most of them are hideous and people get a kick out of what I'm doing. And so that's, I mean, that is one reason I do it. I was doing it before I ever, you know, started putting it out there for the public to see. And now it is, and it's gotten so much support and I have followers on the page. It's become a goal to make a book about this and to do actually the whole, you know, a hotel in each state of the United States. And I already have 20% of the US right now. I can't wait to get the other 80%.